So now that you've bought your carbon steel wok, this one has a wooden handle. It happens to be a hand-hammered round bottom wok, and it also has a helper handle. So now what are you going to do with it? Well, what we're going to have to do with it, and I have some other videos showing, you got to wash it really thoroughly. So I'll go through that process very quickly for you. And then on this one, I'm not going to remove the handle. I'm going to leave the handle on, and I'm going to wrap it with a paper towel and some tin foil, and then we're going to bake it for 20 minutes at 450 degrees, and we're going to do that twice, and then it'll come out totally seasoned. Why do we want to season it? We want to season it, number one, to prevent any rust. Okay, and the second thing is, what it'll do is it'll make it non-stick. And so basically that's it, and let's get to the video. One of the first steps that we want to do before we even start to season is to clean the wok. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a sponge with a rough side, and you're going to need a Brillo pad, the one with the soap in it. We'll put that in there for right now, and then we're going to need some type of soap. I use Dawn with a little bird at least here, because it'll help really remove the protective oil that they apply to this when they ship it to you to keep it from rusting. So let's begin. I put these back here so we wouldn't make too much noise. So I'm just going to wash this, try to get it real nice and clean. And in the process, if I get the handle wet during the cleaning process here, no big deal. Actually, it's better for it. We'll put this off to the side. I'm going to use this now. And you want to wash it really thoroughly. I'm going to go through this process twice. And I'm going to do the outside as well. Or the back side. Okay, now we're going to do this. Put this here. And I'm just going to turn it over. Get some more hot water here. You just want to give it a real good cleaning to get all this oil off of it, the shipping oil. And this should be it on that side. Let's wash this down a little bit. One of my other videos explains to you why it's really important to wash your wok down thoroughly, because if you don't, you're not going to get the results from seasoning it as you desire. So it's really important that you spend some extra time and to wash it. So this will be the last. This will be very quick. Okay. And I'm going to feel it feels good. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. Let's empty this out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this on the stove for a few minutes on the top in a medium heat to thoroughly dry this, because you don't want any water or dampness on the metal when you put the oil on it. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it down now as dry as I can get it, and we're going to put it on the stove in a minute to make sure that everything's totally dry before I even start to put the oil on it. But before I even do that, what I'm going to do is, just to see, you can see that pretty good, I think. There you go. I want to focus on the handle here. I've wetted the handle down to make it nice and wet, and we're going to take a little water and I'm going to put it inside the wok because it's just easier to do this next little thing here. I'm going to take a paper towel, I'm going to wet it, okay, and then I'm just going to wrap it around here. There we go. It doesn't have to be too neat, just make sure that it's nice and wet. Okay, I would not be good at wrapping gifts at Christmas. You can tell by my wrapping ability, but this will do fine. I've done this before several times. Okay, we got that on here now. And then we're going to take the tin foil, and I'm going to kind of measure it off there, and we're going to move it to about here. Okay, and then I'm going to put this, so I don't drop it, around like this. This will keep the moisture in, which I want, because I don't want the handle to burn, because it's wood. You can do the same thing if it's a bamboo handle. We're going to wrap this around here, just like that. This turned out really nice. Okay, punch the end in, squish it down. Okay, now we're almost set to put that in the oven. I'm going to empty the water out. I'm going to do one final wipe to get the water out, and I'm going to move it now over to the oven, the stove. Alright, I have it in the stove now, and I'm putting it on low heat. Oh, maybe about 2, not very much. But while it's warming up, I'm going to show you, I'm going to use this grapeseed oil to season it with. You can use just about any oil, grapeseed, avocado oil. I would not use flaxseed oil, and not a lot of people and a lot of videos out there show seasoning with flaxseed oil, and I have a problem with it because it creates such a hard surface on it that I've actually found it to crack. The oil will actually crack off from the metal and go into the food, and then I had to strip everything down. So I've done this several times with grapeseed oil, and it works perfect, just absolutely perfectly. So this thing is drying now. The trick with putting oil in is you want to, I'm using a paper towel here, and I put some of the grapeseed oil in a little dish right there, and I'm just going to use a very light coating of oil, and it should be fine now. We're going to coat it on the inside and the outside. If you put it too thick, it's going to get clumpy, I guess. That's about the best way to describe it. And even this is a little thick. I'm going to put it all over. The edges, the handle, tip it over. We're going to do the back side also. The trick is to have real thin coats. And I'll probably go over it one more time just to remove any excess oil. You can always add another coat, but it's hard to take it off. You can see some of the dirt there that comes off of it, the oil. So I'm going to grab another paper towel, reach in front of you here. There we go. That means my stove is now 450 degrees. I had that preheated. Okay. This blacking area stuff will all come off. I just want to make sure that this is not on too thick. All right. I'm going to clean it all up and get all that black stuff off the towels later, but we're ready to go with it right now. So I'm going to open the oven. I'm going to show you what I did on the oven. On the bottom rack, I put a piece of tin foil so that in case any of the oil drips, it's not going to get my stove dirty. So I'll be back in a minute. This is the way my oven looks right now. You can see the bottom tin foil. And then right above the tin foil, I've got my rack on the bottom. So I have enough space in here to put my wok. So let me put that in and I'll be right back. Alright, what I did is I put the wok inside the oven, but notice it's upside down. You got to have it upside down. It's just the way, it just makes it so much easier. Any of the oil on the inside of the dome will actually drip down, and it just doesn't pool in the center of the bottom of the wok. So always make sure that when you put the wok in your oven, put it in upside down. And we're going to close the door now, and we're going to come back in about 20 minutes. This is the oven now, open, and this is the first baking of my carbon steel wok. So let me take it out, set it on top of the oven, let it cool, give it one more coating of light oil, and bake it one more time at 450 degrees for 20 or 30 minutes. And I'll be right back. You can tell sitting on the oven how nice and, whoops, this is kind of warm yet. I'm going to use my mitten. You can tell how nice and brown this is right now. It's going to get one more shade of brown, and it's going to turn out just fine. I'm going to let it cool for a few minutes, and then I'll put another coating of oil in, and we're going to be all set. And then we'll bake it, and then that'll be it. It'll be ready to cook with. I'll be back. When I took this out, this wok out of the oven, I noticed that this was really hot, and so what I did is I removed the tin foil and also removed the paper underneath it. I'm re-soaking it. I'm going to recoat it with another paper towel and fresh tin foil, and should help to protect it. Although I just don't want it to burn. So as a safety precaution, I just got another piece of tin foil here, and I'm going to wet another paper towel. There we go. Let it really soak. Get this out of the way. Come on. I'll straighten it out here. Just about like that. There we go. Then I'll just wrap it. Just to make sure that it doesn't burn. And we'll put this on again, like this here. Put this up here. Squish the end in, and we're all set. We're safe now for another seasoning, the final seasoning. So from here I'll take it over, put it back on the stove, let it cool down a little bit more, give it another coating of oil, put it back in the oven, and we'll see how it comes out. It should be nice and golden brown, even more so than the way it looks right now. Alright, getting ready to put the final coat on. I'll just put a little bit of oil in here. I'm just going to put it all over again, around the rivets, around the handle. A real thin coat. And I'll put it on the outside also. As soon as I turn it over. As we use this wok, as I explained in some of my previous videos, this wok will get darker the more we use it. It'll get more seasoned and more non-stick until it almost gets black. And that's fine. Alright, I'm going to turn this inside out now and just wipe any excess off. I don't want any excess oil. And we're set. Okay, we'll put that over there. I'll get my gloves on. We'll put this back in the oven again. And we'll be back when we take it out. Alright, the timer is up. Let's see what it looks like. Looks pretty nice to me. And let's get a... trying to do this with one hand, not easy. Take this out. Boy, look at this. Look how that looks. That's beautiful. Perfect. Absolutely. Oh, perfect. Let me close this oven and shut this off. Now restart it. Alright, I just took the wok out for the second time. It's pretty hot yet, but you can see it's actually gorgeous. Look at that.